Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spiritual View. Welcome. It's Thursday evening, and we are so delighted that you have joined us. And today we have our lovely host, Jen from the Awakened Tarot. We have Dawn from Astrology and Tarot Alchemy, and we have Wendy and myself as your hosts this evening. Again, if you're new to the channel, we welcome you in with open arms. We are a collective of soul sisters merging our spiritual modalities with a little magic mixed in, and we are building this lovely spiritual community. So we are very grateful if you've joined us for the first time. If you are a returning champion, we always welcome you back with open arms. And so we have tonight an interesting conversation because there's a lot of astrology per usual, and Dawn is going to lead us through that conversation. A little bit around Jupiter moving into Cancer. We'll talk about that. We also have Mercury going into Cancer, as well as on June the 5th, Venus goes into Taurus. And actually, it'll be on our live next Thursday. So we'll go into that much more in detail. And so with that, we also are going to be pulling cards this evening. And so if you really want to have a card pulled for you, please put a heart in the chat, and we'll do the best that we can to get to as many of you as we can. All right. Anything else that anyone needs to share? Or are we good to go? Good to go. All right. So as usual, we are going to start with just a quick clearing of our energy. And it is Thursday, so we only have one more day of the work week. So you can almost relax, but we're going to get into the beautiful energy of Friday. So we're just going to ask you to close your eyes. We're going to take a couple of nice, deep, cleansing breaths in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Once again, in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. And let's just relax and slow it down just for a few moments. Continue to breathe deeply. Relax into your body. And we're going to imagine this evening that we are laying in a hammock by the ocean. And we are gently rocking back and forth with a warm breeze blowing through the hammock and through our clothes. We can smell the salt in the air with the closeness of the ocean. And we are just relaxed, rocking back and forth, listening to the waves, feeling the wind, the gentle breeze. We are relaxed, our bodies relaxed, and we are connecting with all the elements. We are in nature. And we're connecting with this beautiful energy all around us. And since we're by water, we're going to connect with that beautiful element of water. And we're going to imagine connecting all the way from heaven down through our body, clearing our chakras. And we're using a golden blue light. Imagine it swirling, balancing and cleansing as it goes all the way through our chakras, from crown all the way through to the root. And imagine as you're rocking in the hammock, just relax and allowing this beautiful energy to work its way through your energetic and physical body, that it goes down out of your feet into Mother Earth, connecting you with her beauty. And that warm, beautiful blue light comes back up all the way through the chakras, from the root all the way through the crown, continuing to connect us with all there is. And this beautiful blue light with that golden hue comes around each of us, in a cone of protective light around our hammock. Archangel Michael is here to provide strength, protection, and the sword of truth. May we all stand in our truth, in our authenticity, and the beauty of this scene of the ocean and Mother Gaia, the blue sky, the blue ocean. Take one last deep breath in. Exhale. All right, everyone, welcome, and over to Dawn.
Hello, everyone. I will point out that we, of course, just had our new moon ceremony, and that was with Mercury and the Sun conjunct. They and the Moon all conjunct. I want to bring in, especially today, I want to talk about Jupiter is going to be in Cancer for a full year. That is the place where it's in its exaltation, meaning it's its most powerful when it's in Cancer. And sooner or later, it's going to be touching something in your chart, because that is the water area of the chart. And it will either, a sextile or a trine or a square or opposition. It will touch something in your chart. I guarantee it. It's going to take a year for it to pass through. It will retrograde also towards the end of the year, but it's at its strongest. So what can you do to get Jupiter to benefit you? How can you use your chart and your energy to get the most benefit out of this Jupiter? Jupiter is still in Gemini right now, but I want you to look at this time frame of, it's June 8th. Is it June 8th or June 9th? It is June 9th that Jupiter goes into Cancer. June 5th is when Venus goes into Taurus, where she is in her home sign. So you're having the benefics in very good energy. Venus will be in, starting from that June 5th through the rest of the month of June, for sure, in Taurus. So that is a very positive energy, and see where that will affect you in your chart. It's interesting that for a short time, you'll have Venus and Jupiter in a bit of a sextile. So they'll be able to help each other out. So if you know what areas of the chart those are for you, you might have an opportunity presented to you that you can take advantage of. If you don't, go for it. Doesn't hurt you, but it's something that could benefit you if you choose. You have to act on sextiles in order to get the benefit of them. The other thing is, we do have today is a cazimi, Mercury cazimi, the sun. So Mercury is in the heart of the sun at 9 degrees of Gemini. And that is also where the asteroid goddess Iris is located at. She was very involved with the Venus retrograde. Iris is about receiving messages. So for the past couple days, if you've been getting any downloads, I would say that's definitely having to do with Mercury and Iris being conjunct. And then now you have Mercury cazimi conjunct with Iris at that same degree. So you will be getting downloads even for the next couple days coming up. So listen to what is trying to come in for you, and any new ideas, things that just drop in. We do have Uriel is going to be, I think, very prominent as we get ready for Uranus to come into Gemini in July. But I want to have you focus right now on that Jupiter energy, because it's going to be also affecting the world axis. Cancer's a cardinal sign. So Jupiter is going to be talking to both Neptune and Saturn. And there's going to be things coming out on the world stage. I think we're all going to be like annoyed, and because I think truths that have been hidden will be coming out. Mercury, Jupiter, hidden things, truths coming out. And then you have Neptune again, getting the truth coming out because of those because of those. It's going to turning into it's a square. So those are the things I think we should look at, and hopefully we can then work our own energy and our own charts for our greatest benefit, because I see so much energy is being positive for the people in their personal charts. I think that is really exciting, because I feel like if you're not doing fear mongering or getting angry, if you're taking that step back in your energy and just being that observer energy, that's almost a protection of itself, not getting caught up in all of this of the astrology that is having to play out for the mundane astrology in the collective. Governments will do what governments will do, but in your local community, this is where the big change is actually going to happen. What can you do in your local community that is going to make you shine and that you can utilize for your greatest and highest good? I know that there's a lot of people that have been, I'm not a Pollyanna. I know that there's been people losing their jobs. I can't think of anybody who doesn't know at least one person who's been affected by job loss. So what I see coming forward, though, is this is one of those things that the universe is doing to get us out of stuck and into a better position. And it's better to do it now when you have time to focus on what you truly want to do. This is Jupiter. This is you being able to take advantage of this. So that's what I want people to concentrate on, because I do expect that there's going to be issues coming up, but it's that frame of mind. The new moon told us to think about things differently. We are supposed to be thinking in a brand new way and looking at things with different eyes. And when we change the way we look at something, it makes a big difference in our whole attitude about what's going on. And it basically changes the narrative. Change your story. Change your story for the better. And you can. It's all about that hanged man energy of looking at things from a different perspective and changing your storyline.
And Dawn, I love this because I've had about 3 examples this week in trying to solve a problem. And I've had several different individuals really challenge me on the question, because I was asking the wrong question to solve the problem because I had not shifted my perspective. So part of it is.
You muted.
You just muted yourself. Yeah. I don't know.
But being open to seeing things from a different perspective and framing things allows you to actually look at situations where it could be a tower, it could be something else, where it really shifts you because you're able to frame it differently. And you ask a completely different question that gives you a different outcome that you probably hadn't even thought about. And it's happened to me 3 times this week. And it's like, wow, now it explains it.
I like it. And I had the whole download thing that you were talking about. We were talking about that before, because I didn't even know. I knew I needed to look at the astrology because I was up most of the night last night, which is wow. So, yeah, definitely something going.
Yeah. And I know it's been the case for me because I got a lot of downloads. I'm getting a lot of downloads. I'm probably going to sit in meditation tonight because that new moon was right on my Mars at 6 degrees. So it was exact. And with this, and I'm a Gemini rising, so I'm a Mercury ruled chart. And now it's at 9 degrees, and that's in a trine energy to Aquarius. I have a 6 degree Aquarius moon. So they were talking to each other, download. And I have my Saturn at 9 degrees on top of my south node, download. So for me, this has been amazing energy and getting all kinds of brand new ways of thinking of things and how to frame things and possibilities. I think I like the way you said reframing the question. When you reframe a question, there's a completely beautiful new set of answers that are possible now, right? So I really feel like that's coming into. I think people are going to be getting, if you're open, that's the part about this new moon too. It's like you need to think differently. You need to be open to new things. We do have the benefit of getting Jupiter to work for us and getting Venus to work for us. Both the benefics are going to be working on our behalf. So this is a great time if you've had a change in your job. Look at those areas of your chart and get into your creativity. What have you always wanted to do? I think the reading I'm doing tomorrow was like universe creators wanted, that was one of the things that came out. Make your work your art. Those are the things that came out. And I did get the energy of there's going to be issues with the collective coming forward, but it was like, this is then us getting the chance to reshape things in the way we want them. And that's the energy that I've been getting. And I think we'll continue to see. So stay out of the fear that the news is going to try and generate. Stay out of the anger that the news is going to try and generate. And they'll be like, oh, isn't that horrible? Click. Time to turn off the TV and move on, because all they do is like a doomsday scroll at the bottom to make you watch more and more and more and more. Stay tuned. We have this horrible thing that just happened somewhere. Okay. I feel that we can't let ourselves, I believe in being, sending prayers and everything, but there at this moment, the energy that is out there is not something that we're going to be able to control. So you need to step back from that and self-care, 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 message after message after message. Self-care should be your first thing every morning that you say to yourself, what can I do to take care of myself today? This is something that if you see any of the other astrologers out there, most of them are talking about that same thing, that what do you need to do to take care of yourself every day? And then do something for the collective, but take care of yourself first. That's the most important thing. Anybody have any questions about some of this coming up, or a particular thing they have on as a question for the Jupiter avenues? Nope. Okay. So I will go ahead and read the question, and then we'll go ahead and start. So the collective question was, how can we use Jupiter in its highest power to assist us for our greatest benefit? So we will start with Wendy. Wendy, I'll let you take that for the collective.
Okay. Hi. Well, I just got a bunch of new decks today, so I'm super excited. So this is a brand new deck for me. This is the Starseed Oracle. And I pulled Deep Cellular Healing, Arcturus Energy, Physical and Emotional Healing. And there we go. So your body knows how to heal. Healing is your natural state. Physical and emotional disharmony can be a reflection of how the world, inner and outer, has been out of alignment. If you're suffering from a mystery or a chronic illness, don't allow yourself to think you've done something wrong. Today, it's difficult to navigate our health. If this card has made its way to you, you're being called to focus on your healing in practical ways, to prioritize your health, to be kind and tender to your miraculous body, to give yourself the grounding and care you need, to put your body first, to nourish yourself as you would a newborn baby, to treat yourself with tender care. You may be called to switch things up with your body or your emotional well-being, to call in a team of helpers to support you in navigating any challenges you may be experiencing emotionally. The Arcturians are a galactic group of beings who have mastered deep cellular and emotional healing. They want you to know that it's possible to feel vibrant in your body and well in your skin, to have your cells return to effervescence and vitality, to find calmness and contentedness, to have a soothed nervous system and a tranquil heart. Okay. Wow. I mean, talk about self-care, right? Just at a cellular level. I know sorry, I'm starting to kind of get emotional because I have my my daughter's going through some chronic illnesses right now, and we're having a really hard time kind of figuring out what's going on. And so yeah, this really resonates, really hits home to just really, we all need to take care of ourselves. Super, super important. Okay, I'm going to move on to Suri.
All right. Thank you, Wendy, and thank you for sharing. I wanted to talk about Jupiter's highest power from the Gaia deck. And this card is very interesting. It's called Intuitive Communication, and it is a 43, which reduces to 7, which is very sacred. And you look at this woman looking at the heart. The heart has light coming out of it on the tree. And this is all around confirming that you have a natural psychic ability that can be further developed and expanded. So this is tying into our awakening of our intuition and our knowingness. But it says, in order to develop this gift, you must pay attention to your intuition. It can come in many forms. It can be a gut feeling. It could be a whisper. It could be an unexpected thought. And we've been talking about the energy of Uriel, and we're going to be posting that video, this archangel, pretty soon, that sometimes things just pop into our head for no seeming reason, but yet it is so spot on, you cannot ignore it. So it says, close your eyes and be aware of all that you feel around you. The universe is alive. The earth and nature are living energies. And whether or not you know it, there's an aspect of you that's in constant communication and communion with all of creation. All that you need to do is to expand this wonderful ability, but you've got to trust your inner voice. You've got to tap into your heart. And part of the intuitive communication, what I'm finding, is around getting still. So for the greatest and highest power that Jupiter can bring to you for your intuition is the ability to get still, whether that be through meditation, through walking in nature, but getting still enough to actually hear the messages, the nudges, the whispers, the thoughts that just come to you out of the blue. Pay attention, because they are gifts trying to come in and awaken your intuition. All right. And with that, I'll turn it to Jen.
All right. So I have pulled with Faces of Ocean. And so how can we use Jupiter in its highest power to assist us for our greatest benefit? And I got Ocean of the Dance, happiness, bliss, and gratitude. And so our bliss is going to be our portal that gets us to the abundance. And that's the way that we're going to be able to use this energy. And one of the things that I was thinking about as I was meditating on this card is the 2025 predictions reading that I had done. I think it was back in December. And like, okay, I'm gonna put this down so I can get here. So the beginning of the year, I called it correct. I called it correct that it was going to be hard. It was going to be, and I mean, I didn't realize the astrology part that was going to be affecting us with this, but it all makes sense now that it was all kind of like put together. When we got to April and May, the Queen of Wands came out. And I remember feeling Stella got her groove back. And so that's what I'm feeling with this energy. It's like, how are we going to use this energy, this Jupiter in its highest power energy, is we've got to be in that Stella energy. We've got to be in that Queen of Wands energy. We've got to own, that space. And like all of the stuff that we've been going through to this point, we can't let that energy be, what is taking us here. And so, like, I know I've been guilty of really being, held by that hard energy. But I've felt just even this month, and I hope that everybody else is feeling it too, like this lighter energy is starting to come. I'm starting to feel more confident again. I'm starting to feel things moving again. And I think that that's what we need to kind of embrace in this energy as we're moving into this Jupiter and Cancer energy, is that we are getting our confidence back. We're not like, I think that, for me, I definitely had a confidence hit. I definitely had just like, and I think that that's what we need to get back in, is just that confidence that we know what we're doing. We know where we're going, that everything's going to be okay. Because I feel like, I needed that message. Like Wendy, I mean, I feel like these messages are kind of hitting us directly right now, and I needed that message. So Stella's getting her groove back, and I'm going to take this energy in that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move forward with Dawn.
And just to tie this back in with what she read was expansion of intuition. Jupiter going into Cancer. Cancer is so intuitive. It is starting with, it's a water sign. It's a beautiful, loving energy, especially with Jupiter there. It makes it so much more powerful. And bringing in what Jen said about, in just celebrating in the dance. And that's kind of one of the downloads I've been getting. It's just like, dance with ecstasy, dance with that energy of, you've reframed what is going on. And, I am going to be happy today. That's a decision that I made. I'm going to be happy today. I'm going to take that moment and just build in what Jupiter can bring to me in that energy of Cancer, of that warmth, of that love, very loving energy that's going to come through that. And the intuition is so incredibly strong. Cancer rules the moon, right? Intuition. So I am using the Earth Magic Oracle deck. And what came out kind of is rainbows and blessings. After the storms, there's always the rainbow. That's a promise to us. The universe made a promise to us that, there's always going to be a blessing even after storms. And this is something that I think that with Iris being a part of this energy, this is also saying, again, you're going to have messages coming in. And I think because it's these rainbow messages, and I feel like a rainbow bridge, I think you might be getting messages from people who have passed. I really believe that. I think, I know this is the month of my grandmother's birthday, and she was a Gemini rising. And I feel I've been feeling her presence around here for the past couple days. So I do believe that we have people around us. We have guides around us that want to help us. And you need to ask for help, especially of the angels and guides. So please bear that in mind as you're going forward. And I think you'll find that you have people who have been important in your lives in the past that are also around here supporting you. So with that, we will go back to Wendy to start reading for individuals.
Sorry. It's like, oh, I better turn my mic back on. Okay. All right. I pulled a card for Marissa, and this is from the Enchanted Map Oracle. And I pulled the 13 card, which is Solitude. And 13 is actually a really lucky number in Italy. I'm Italian. And this reduces down to a 4, and 4 is all about stability. Okay. And kind of being grounded. So solitude, there's a quote underneath. It says, I am comfortable in my own skin as I detach to replenish my soul. Meditation is required when you receive the solitude card as a sign. Empty your mind of superfluous thoughts and allow stillness to flow through your whole being. This is not an advantageous time to ask questions or push forward in any way. Rather, it is a period for a conscious retreat. What's called for now is to step back and take your focus off of your life and your troubles. You'll be surprised by how things sort themselves out once you've replenished your energy by means of a much needed rest and time out. Oh, wow. I like that. So really just kind of, I think a lot of times we get so caught up in the details of our lives, right? And it makes it really hard to see the bigger picture or really figure out where our focus needs to be, and what we need to be doing, what direction we need to be moving in. And we just get so caught up in trying to take care of all of these little things that we're not actually moving forward. You're just kind of spinning on a wheel, right? So I think this is really asking you to take that time, to take a step back and take a beat and really look at the whole picture. And then the way forward will kind of clear, and make itself known. And it'll be that much easier to get to where you want to be going. So I hope that resonates for you, Marissa. And we'll go on to Suri.
Okay, I'm reading for Linda Reeder. Hi, Linda. And this card flew out of the Oracle of the Seven Energies deck. And we've been talking a lot about this. And so I think this might resonate for more than Linda this evening. But I pulled this card. It's called It Is What It Is. And it talks about acceptance and engaging life on life's terms, observing circumstances and taking them at face value, releasing any resistance, and allowing surrender to create a different outcome. So, Linda, there may be a situation, something that you've wanted to manifest, or it could be a relationship where the door might be closing. And the comment here, they said, a door closing isn't an invitation to take a ram to it to try to keep it open. And then, what our job is to release the situation and to surrender perhaps to something not working out in the way that you anticipated. And we've all been talking about the last couple of weeks that we've all been having tower moments and unexpected stuff, just, coming right in over the top, out of the blue. Sometimes it's in relationships. It's something that we've wanted to manifest or set forth in our material world, but either it didn't work out, or it's been delayed, or the door just closed. In some cases, it's slammed on our faces. So they said, look at this through the lens of perhaps the closed door opens the door to the beauty of what you were meant to be or to have. And so sometimes when situations don't work out, or we get the tower coming out of left field that changes everything, it is exactly meant for us. And so sometimes reframing a disappointment or something that didn't work into, oh, wow, what about if the door that's actually opening is the miracle that I've been waiting for? And maybe it's beyond my wildest dreams of what could happen. And so I would just say, Linda, if you felt any resistance or something that's not worked, just surrender and let Spirit bring to you that beautiful door of what's trying to open for you. And it just says, keep this prayer in mind, and this is serenity prayer. I think it's still beautiful. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change to the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I think our wisdom is here, and Dawn, you said it, as we reframe all these things differently, that it allows us not to put a right or wrong to it, not to judge it, but just to release it. And it says, even if circumstances send you on a temporary detour, you will discover a treasure beyond your wildest imagination and a new way to embrace the world. So for someone, and for Linda, hopefully that resonates. Don't give up. It's just that the universe wants to bring you the best and the highest miracle and thing for your life that needs to come through that new door. And with that, I will turn it over to Jen.
Okay, I have pulled for Shirley. And so I've used the Psychic Tarot for you, and we have Material Harvest. And what I get is that something that you have been waiting on, really, really hoping was going to come, is about to come in for you. So we have Material Harvest. One of the laws of the universe is what you sow, you reap. This card states that this is your time to reap the harvest that you've worked for and so rightly deserve. The last physical card denotes self-mastery, self-sufficiency, independence, security, and the art of enjoying what you've strived for. You've done the hard work, learned the lessons along the way, and used them to prosper in all areas of your life. The number 9 also means endings, not that good fortune necessarily stops, but do honor yourself as you finish up or celebrate the completion of projects. This would be the perfect time to look ahead and use the wisdom that you've gained to think about what else you want to achieve. Consider smart investments and ponder ideas that show profitable potential. Congratulations on your success. You've earned it. And so, I mean, this lines up with, I think, the 9 of Pentacles card. And so you've done the work, you have earned what's coming in, and it's finally coming in. And I think that that's the thing, is that you've been doing all of this work for so long. And one of the things with that card is that sometimes it feels like, is it worth all of the effort? You're about to find out that it really is worth all of the effort for you. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and go to Dawn.
Hello, I'm reading for Ron, and I chose to read from the Crystal Spirits Oracle deck. And the card that came out for you is a number 51. It's called Smithsonite. And it's about rebirth from chaos, evolution, stress relief, emotional boost, clearing of obstacles to growth. And this is very much about, we are facing rocky roads in our lives going forward. A lot of people, their jobs are changing. And the thing that caught me about this particular card is, I like this sentence, so let me read this to you. The ground is firm beneath you, the wind is at your back, and the conscious universe is beside you. So there is no need for you to look for what may seem to be safer ground. The landscape around you is changing. You are changing. And soon you will feel more settled if you heed the call. So expect there to be upheaval. Know that there's change that is necessary, but hang on to the fact that this is clearing things for you. It's creating opportunities for you to move forward. I do feel like there are issues probably going on in your life right now, but I just was struck by the fact that it's saying, okay, things around you are changing. Don't look for safer ground. The world is changing. You are changing. So settle into that energy, because it's all going to work out. It's all going to be fine. I think the rainbow card coming in was like, yeah, it's going to be fine. That's the promise of rainbows. So with that, I will pass it back to Wendy.
All right, Susie, you're going to love this. I pulled a card from the Cosmic Journey Oracle, and I got the number 3 card, which is allow your work to become your art. I know, I'm laughing too, Dawn, because I'm like, Dawn just said this earlier tonight. All right. So if you could truly do anything in the world to make your own art, what would it be? So now it's time to really think about that, because this is your opportunity, right? So you've now been given the choice of what kind of work will truly become your art. It's up to you. You are limited only by how much courage you can muster to fully explore what this can mean. You must merge your head, heart, and highest purpose to bring everything to bear, from the business model to the impact you wish to make. Envision the business love story you want the world to buy. Who is your perfect customer? What do they wake up thinking about? What keeps them up at night? Where can you find them? What purpose do they want to serve in the world more than anything else? The more specific you can get about the details, the better. Build the damn thing already, because your dream customers are waiting to fall in love. Love this for you. Love this card. Okay. So I really hope that resonates for you, Susie, and I'm excited to see what you do with it. All right, moving on to Sari.
Okay, I am reading for Karen. And Karen, welcome. And I am pulling from the Shaman Stream this evening. And I got a very similar message to one that was from Linda. And this is called the Fool's Embrace. And this is all around allowing life to love you and transmuting either old energy or pain. And it says, no matter where we are on the spectrum of life and pain that we might find ourselves, it's time to make peace with it, befriend it rather than resisting it or running from it. And it says, there's a gift here. Surrender to the Fool's Embrace. So it's often connected to the Fool card. It's a 22 Karen, and that is the Master Builder card. And it's like you are the master of creating your reality. And it says, what is truly yours will not pass you by. Something better and perfect for you is waiting elsewhere. So it's very similar to the other message around doors have to close before we can open the door or allow the door that Spirit wants to bring for our highest and greatest good. And I know it's hard for us to close doors because we don't know oftentimes what's on the other side. It says, as in the narrative of tarot, the fool will be at the beginning of your life's adventure and at the end when you've integrated all the wisdom that you've accumulated along the journey. He will never let you down. He will, however, teach you to revel in both the beauty of life and sometimes the challenges of life. Both and this and that will always be true. Remember, the pearl can't be created without the gritty sand causing discomfort and acting as a catalyst in the oyster. Your pearl is by discovering radical acceptance that everything has value. All is well now and will be. Remember that today you are under the love of the fool's embrace. So for you, as well as, yeah, Karen, you said hesitating about moving on. I think we're all sometimes, and I did a video yesterday where it was, the analogy was keeping one foot on the dock and one foot on the boat. And we can't see where the boat's going, but we know we need to get in the boat. But, you know, we want to have the safety of both. And so what Spirit is saying, the Fool's Embrace is saying, if we trust the universe, the Fool's Embrace will help show us which doors need to close and let go of in order to open in and bring in the new. And that requires faith on all of our parts. So Karen, if there's any encouragement to jump in the boat and to embrace the Fool's journey, Spirit's message is saying, we got your back. And whatever you're going through, again, it's supposed to be on your path to open up the next chapter and phase and go through that door if you have that opportunity. All right, I'm going to pass on to Jen.
Okay, so I have pulled for Venus. And Venus, I've used the Psychic Tarot for you, and I have some good news for you, and I'm excited about that. So we have Love Begins. And I think that we've done readings for you before where this is actually really, really good news for you. So your cup is about to overflow with joy, happiness, and positive feelings. This is one of the first of the emotion cards and therefore signifies that a new love opportunity beckons. This doesn't necessarily have to be physical love, but could also represent the passion and devotion for an idea, a goal, or even a new creative endeavor. This would be a perfect time to open yourself and your heart to the higher vibrations and loving energy of the universe. When past issues are resolved, when forgiveness of others as well as yourself has been attained, and when your heart is truly open and ready to receive, then new roads leading toward love will be revealed. And so, I mean, I feel like that's the piece. You have healed yourself enough to be able to be open for this love to be able to come in. So I feel like that probably if you've had some resistance to love coming in, that it was probably that you were probably blocked off yourself because of all of the pain and emotions and everything that you've been through so far. You didn't want to experience it again, even though you wanted love to come in. You were still afraid of going through what you've been through already. So you had like this energetic block that you may not have even known was there, but it's been released because you've done the healing. And now then it's time for you to let love back into your life. And I'm excited for you. All right. So Dawn.
Hello. Okay, I am reading for Angela. So I went back to the Earth Magic Oracle deck. And what came out for you, and I kind of found this interesting, is that it's full moon completion. The very next full moon that we're going to be having is going to be in Sagittarius, which is ruled, of course, by Jupiter. So full moons will bring out not just completion, but light. It shines its light on things that you weren't aware of. And I think that the this is going to be very true of this Sagittarius full moon that's going to be coming out. There's going to be many, many things that are coming to light. I think what we need to realize is that everything has its cycle. That's what the moon is about. And what it's telling us is that this is a time, if you have something that is coming to completion, pause and be thankful that this is something that is ending, for good or for bad. If it's something that was a positive thing that is coming to an end, consider the blessing. If it's something that you had to learn from and it was a more difficult thing, then learn the lesson and take that with you moving forward. But everything is going to be cyclical. And this is an opportunity, I believe, again, for people to listen to the messages that are going to be coming in. The full moon illuminates. The full moon will be in Sagittarius. And the messages that will be coming in, I think, are very much with Mercury and Jupiter entering into the signs of Cancer. So pay attention to what might be coming up for you and realize that there's going to be some new things that are going to be coming into your area, into your personal space, is what I'll say, your personal space, and utilize what knowledge that you're getting from that and move forward with that. So I will move back to Wendy.
All right. So I picked a card for Joanna. Joanna, I picked a card for you from Oracle of the Fairies. And this one, it seems pretty straightforward. You got go outside. It's time to go outside. Tune into the powerful peace of nature wherever you are and feel at one with your habitat. Okay. So when the fairy queen of the forest graces your card, it's time to get out and get close to nature. The magic of your local forest or woodland is calling to you right now. Often the message is simply to get outside so you can recharge your batteries. We can forget to do this when we get wrapped up in our work, particularly if we are sitting in front of screens and computers. So if you can, spend some quiet, contemplative time in this environment. Find a place that calls to you. Sit there and just be. Have no expectations, just experience your surroundings and be receptive to any signs. The fairy queen of the forest urges you to feel the powerful peace of nature and to be open to any signs, such as the appearance of certain animals or their actions that may appear during your mini retreat. You might need only 5 minutes, but you can be assured that this gift to yourself of being in nature will give you much more energy to get on with your working life in a more productive way. It would be wise to follow this advice from the fairy queen of the forest when she appears, because she knows only too well how precious the gifts of the forest are. If you're not physically able to get outside, then look at an image of woodland in a book or magazine, or as a last resort on screen. You can also use creative visualization to imagine you're outside enjoying nature. So much like, Suri taking us to the ocean side, swinging in a hammock, which, gosh, Suri, you're so amazing at that. I just love it every time. It just takes me away. We all need that. It's really about just grounding, kind of recentering yourself, getting your bearings, taking a breath, remembering to breathe. So many times we don't realize that we're just really taking these shallow breaths, and we really need to, open it up and take in that oxygen that we need so desperately for our brains so we can think and move forward, right? So yeah, just make sure you're taking that time. Again, self-care, taking care of yourself, taking the time to reset, to re-energize, to focus. Okay. I hope that resonates for you, Joanna, and we're moving on to Suri.
Okay, hi. I am reading for Robin with Revolutionary Resilience. Hopefully I got it right. Welcome, Robin. I pulled from the Kuan Yin Oracle deck, and I have never pulled this card before. And this is of the many hands of the goddess. And you can see this is Kuan Yin depicted with many, many hands and arms. It's a 17, which is reducing to an 8, meaning it's all about the work. And Robin, what this card signifies is that you've got a lot going on. You got many irons in the fire and many hands and arms that are active with many different aspects of work and things going on in your life. It says the goddess Kuan Yin brings blessings to multiple projects in different parts of your life and consciousness. She is not limited to one task at a time. Do not be afraid to surrender into her guiding wisdom and creative genius now, for there is much that you can accomplish together, and she wants to assist you. So I was felt drawn to this deck because oftentimes I feel connections with people with Kuan Yin. And she's basically saying is she wants you to release your worries and put your intentions with her and let her gently guide you. And it says, when you need to step back from all of the work with all the hands that you've got going on with many tasks, you're very busy right now. When you need to step back and rest, please do so. In the rest, you will replenish, gain new perspective, and return to your creative work more productively. It's an essential part of the process. Trust that Kuan Yin is uplifting, guiding, and instructing you through your own intuition so that your projects, your creative desires, all of this will manifest with the highest wisdom in the best timing and order. You do not need to worry about having too many irons or logs in the fire. Just let Kuan Yin guide you and follow her. Do not be afraid to surrender. And so this is kind of recognition that sometimes we need a little help when we've got a lot going on. So don't be afraid to tap into this beautiful energy of Kuan Yin to help you. And when you need to rest, again, the message of self-care is coming through. It is essential for you to step back when you need to, but charge forward full steam when you need to. And so that is a message, Robin, for you this evening. And hopefully this resonated for you. And I will pass it back to
Okay, I have pulled for Lindsay, and for Lindsay, I've used the Psychic Tarot for you, and we have Trapped in Fear. And so this lines up with the Eight of Swords card. And what I got is that there was a situation that you are just completely in your head about, and I think you need to give yourself some grace, is that you didn't have the right boundaries in place. And so you feel like you made a mistake because you didn't have the boundaries, and then, the thing happened. And so like you are like just ruminating over this and giving yourself a really hard time for you thinking you didn't do the right thing. And I think that that's the thing that you're going to have to release. And so I was getting, like, you go back to what Sari had said in the collective message about looking at it from a different perspective, asking a different question about this. So as you're beating yourself up about the decisions you made, did you have any other options? Did you know any other options? You did the best that you could in that situation. So I think that you are being way too hard on yourself right now is what I'm feeling with that. So I'm going to read the message of the card. It says, this card reveals that it's actually your own fear that has made you immobilized and trapped, preventing you from making decisions or choices. You are the one who's holding yourself prisoner or hostage. And in order to continue your journey, you must first face your fears so that new people and conditions can manifest. Many individuals choose to stay in this place because they can't see the road ahead. They feel a misguided sense of safety there, and they're afraid to start something new. But staying will only add to your level of stress and anxiety and create adverse effects in your physical body. Seek out wise counsel for assistance. You don't have to do this alone, but know that you possess all of the tools that you need to free yourself. You're forgetting how strong you really are. This period will end when you use your mind to cut through the limitations caused by your emotions. And so again, it's about the way that you're looking at it. Ask a different question. Go back and ask a different question. And you did the best you could. Just the first thing I got is you're just giving yourself too hard of a time. And so give yourself some grace. All right. Moving forward with Dawn.
Hello. I went back to the Crystal Spirits Oracle deck and I pulled a card for Gypsy Vixen. Hello, Laura. And it was Lemurian quartz. And as I was looking at this, I was paying attention to the fact that there's keys and keyholes and doors that can be opened. And this very much talks about looking at the big picture. Your ability to imagine something bigger and better and draw in what you need in order to heal, feel a sense of well-being, and step into your power as a co-creator is greater than you think. So that big picture is very much a Jupiter, Sagittarius kind of energy. And with all the things that you've been learning, how have you evolved as a person as you've been moving through all this energy? And I think looking at things from a different point of view, it's like, okay, what is out there? What's unusual? And the fact that's Lemurian crystal, which I don't hear very often as a reference, but it's that energy of what are the possibilities? They're really endless. And there's a bigger picture that you can focus on moving forward. So I think that this is saying, really see how far you've come and how many changes you've made, even in the last year, because Jupiter takes a whole year to move around. So I would say, look at yourself from 1 year ago and see the changes that you've come to have in your life and how things have changed for you. And with that, I will send it back to Wendy.
All right. And I pulled a card for Anthony. And Anthony, I know you didn't necessarily request a reading, but I was drawn to your name for some reason, and I felt like I really needed to pull a card for you. So I pulled a card from Moonology Oracle cards. And we got luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. So whatever is coming your way, it looks set to put a smile on your face. The new moon in Sagittarius can mark the restart of fun after a period of feeling low. The energy is adventurous and even willing to take a few risks, but be careful you don't bet the farm on something here, as the Wheel of Fortune is still spinning. This card is about exploring life metaphorically by exchanging big ideas with others or just thinking about your own philosophies. Perhaps it's time to change your mind about something important. It can also signal that a trip away is coming up, if that's something you're working to achieve. But the overall message of this card is that whatever happens next will be some sort of gift, even if that simply means widening your worldview. So count your blessings literally. Write them down or say them aloud. So I hope that resonates for you, Anthony. And I know it's just kind of a last minute, but I've been getting a lot of these cards where there's luck. That was even in my morning reading. That last message from Spirit was all about like having good fortune on your side. So I wish you luck, Anthony. All right, I think I'm going to hand it over to Suri.
Okay, and we are about ready to close out, but we've got about a minute. So Tim, I haven't seen you in a long time. So I actually pulled from the Dog Tarot. So I love this new deck. And I pulled 2 cards. They just fell out. And one is the Chariot. Look at that. And the Strength card. And these are all depicted with dogs. And so Tim, Spirit is saying you got a lot of strength and inner resilience and pull from within when you are seeing challenges. But the Chariot is forward movement, but it's also what I call the Driving Miss Daisy card. Get your hands off the wheel and let Spirit drive, or sit in the back seat and let Hope drive the car. So Spirit is guiding you and giving you tremendous strength and power during this time. So harness that energy and use it as you propel yourself forward. There's nothing that's going to get in your way, but let Spirit drive you versus you trying to drive the car. All right. So again, that was a quick message, and we're so grateful for all of you. We're coming up on the hour. Have a wonderful, blessed weekend. What beautiful messages. And we are so grateful for you. It was so much fun tonight. And we love this community. We love having conversation and community and fellowship as one spiritual community. Again, we will see you next week on June the 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone stay safe, stay grounded. Self-care. And again, we are very, very honored that you have joined us this evening. All right. Have a beautiful weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.